enterprise and supplier development is a key component of most corporates' BE scorecard. It's two components really. On the one hand, you have enterprise development, and that's sort of where companies do investments into developing smaller suppliers that potentially can supply them in future. And then the natural progression of that is to do supplier development, where once you've invested in an enterprise, you've helped get them started, you've gotten them going, to really then develop that supplier, to grow them and help them create more jobs. It's absolutely critical for corporates to take this serious. I think what's happened is in recent years we've had changes to the BE scorecard, legislative changes, which have elevated ESD away from being merely an operational issue and have taken it very much into the strategic realm. It now becomes a strategic imperative for companies to really pay attention to enterprise and supplier development. I think it's really important that we've had this legislative change and that corporates embrace ESD, mainly because we desperately need to create jobs in this country. And the reality is government is under enormous pressure to reduce costs and shed jobs. Corporates similarly are facing significant pressure in a very difficult operating environment, and their ability to continue creating jobs will remain constrained into the immediate future. So really the opportunity in this country is to create jobs through small business development. And corporates have an enormous role to play with respect to opening up markets and helping those SMEs to participate in those corporate markets.
The Commission's view on collaboration is that it can happen. You know, we are very open to it. We understand the incentives and what it is that it's trying to achieve, particularly to the extent that it is intended to grow SMEs and small business.
Enterprise and supplier development for Woolies, I think it's a beautiful tool that has been provided for us to realize our good business journey and also contribute to the country that we really believe should have inclusive growth and grow a lot of jobs. And ESD does exactly that if done very well. Grows SMMEs, sustains them, and they create jobs. And voila, we have an inclusive economy.
My main takeaway from today's event was the spirit amongst the corporates and the other stakeholders present today to want to cooperate and to collaborate to support SMME development and basically identify more opportunities for small enterprises. And I think that's very important. Of course, having the Competition Commission present helped because there's a high level of paranoia amongst corporates that we don't tread over the mark when it comes to assisting businesses through collaborative initiatives such as those that were discussed this morning. So I was really positive and I'm really encouraged by the fact that we could start now engaging some of the other stakeholders that were there today to see how can we really make meaningful opportunities or how can we create opportunities within our supply chains for small enterprise development.
My biggest takeaways from the event itself per se was just the appetite from corporate South Africa to participate in the ESD space, and I think there's quite a bit of information and sort of direction that was provided this morning, especially with the Comp Commission. The lady that presented to us gave us a bit of direction, and I think that's sort of the more paranoia sort of space that we all sort of venture into ESD. So I think that was quite a good sort of presentation from the lady. But overall, I think what is a good takeaway from the event was just a good appetite and the minds in the room that have set the president for good ESD direction. And it is actually quite positive to see the comments from some of the facilitators in the room that sort of made the discussion a lot more appealing and positive.
I think this morning was quite critical in terms of the discussion with the Competition Commission and between corporates about how do we create an enabling platform to assist and support SMMEs through collaboration between corporates as well as SMMEs. I think what is critical for me, it's about how do we agree on that common focus. And for us as the Department of Economic Development and Tourism, the focus is about how do we create jobs and how do we grow the economy through SMME development. And I think agreeing on that common focus then informs how do we collaborate between corporates and SMMEs to create the kind of growth in the environment that we want to assist and support small businesses in this province.